And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Artifacts Worldswide's Lands of Aecathan, Western Aeceathan, where a group of people who a lot would say have played D&D too much demonstrate how little they care as they play D&D some more.
Western Aecathan. It's a very fashionable side of the continent.
It is. It is.
Aecathan.
It's the fashion capital of Aecathan.
No, caftan is a thing you wear. Yeah, okay.
That's a caftan.
That's what I said, a caftan.
Okay.
That's why I said it's very fashionable.
Close. Very close, but not quite. So, we are here doing sort of a little side game. While a couple of our members are otherwise occupied. And so we have with us returning players, Nikki and Annette, and returning special guest player, Leslie, and maybe one more returning special guest player if he didn't forget that we were actually doing this. So we'll see. But just to tell you quickly, we've got this on tonight, and then tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, is GM Chat Intermezzo, which is Nikki and I and whoever else decides to show up and join us playing City of Heroes. Nikki and I have electrical-themed characters, dexterity and electricity. And we are currently in the weird area of the Paragon, or of the, so I guess it's in between Paragon City and the Rogue Isles technically, but it's known as First Ward, and there's just all manner of strange stuff going on there. So we'll be continuing to wade through that mess. Also want to remind you, we are still supporting our charity Code Green, which is a group that provides assistance and support for first responders needing mental health. And they're doing their best to take the stigma off being a first responder and admitting that you need mental health, as many, 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 many people in this world do. And you would think that first responders would need it even more because of the enormous pressure that they're under. And there's a stigma attached to mental health still in this country, and especially if you're a police officer or a firefighter or in the military, or, you know, any number of other first response jobs. So Code Green reaches out to offer assistance to first responders and to help educate first responders and the public on the fact that mental health is just like physical health. Everybody needs it occasionally, and you should go get it instead of just blowing it off and letting the symptoms get worse. Because it's not going to get better without some assistance. Yeah. So if you are so moved, we would love to have you send them a donation. The link you can get to is on our website, www.artifactsworldswide.com. It's right there on the front page. Down at the bottom, it'll take you to their fundraising page. And anything you can do would be greatly appreciated by us and by them, and especially by all the people that they help. Okay, I think that's it for announcements tonight, so let me go ahead and officially welcome you back to the lands of Western Aecathan. welcome back. So, when last we left our intrepid heroes, they had returned to the recently made ghost town of Daka, where they are investigating the disappearance of the entire population of the town. They came back in and decided that they would check out the tower of Tozak Varon, who is the Chronurgist who lives in Daka. After finding a way to access the upper levels of the tower, they fought a couple rather nasty guardians that turned out to be a Githzeri and a Githyanki from the astral plane. They made their way into what appeared to be Tozak's library and his summoning chamber, found a room with locked chests practically glistening with magic, and chose not to even
wisely
touch them.
We did not choose poorly.
And decided to continue onward. They found his spell component storage chamber, which led to a second spiral staircase leading up. And they were headed up that staircase when Gavin, the rogue...
Who's on his way?
Who's on his way. Okay, good. Stepped on a trap. On the fourth step from the top, at which point the stairs flattened. A grease spell was cast upon the now spiral ramp, and with a loud thunk, a 5-foot wide section of floor pivoted up to reveal spikes.
Okay. Are we rolling for...
That is where we left off, with everyone beginning to slide toward the spikes.
Are we rolling in order of how close we are to the spikes? So, what's his name will go first?
Yes.
Okay. Verrozz.
Yes.
Sorry,
Yes.
Verrozz.
Sorry, Verrozz.
So, yeah, maybe. Let's see. Okay, not terribly great. Oh, no. Not even close.
Keep your eye out for...
So he's going to break our fall?
Uh,
Shish kebab style?
well, we'll find out. All right. And he slams full speed into the spikes and is impaled on them.
Oh no. It's going
Like
to be so much worse when we slam into him
they are,
and impaling him.
yeah, they are sticking through him at the moment.
No.
So, let's see. Next up would be, I believe, Melerenn.
Yes.
So make a dexterity save for me.
I also have slow fall, and I'm going to try to use it to put my hands on one side and my feet on the other.
Okay. Considering
So
that everything you are is coated in grease at the moment,
That's fine.
go ahead and do your dex save first.
20.
20. Okay. I'm trying to think. Is there a roll for slow fall?
You can use your reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage you take by 45. So, I don't know. That's what I would do. That's the first
Okay.
thing I would do.
All right. Well, you manage to slow your descent enough that you get your feet under you and you push off and end up flipping over the spikes. Unfortunately, because of the grease, it's not very graceful, and you don't get out of it completely unscathed. But the 5 points you take from smacking into the floor is much less than you would have taken had you hit the spikes.
Right. There's also one more person to be let in. Chad is here.
Oh,
should be.
All right, that's good. Okay. Krishana. Dexterity save, please. And let's see what happens. This could get really bad for Verrozz.
18?
18. Okay. You manage to slow your slide so you only take 18 points of damage.
Oh, mother.
And Verrozz only takes another 11.
Oh my god.
All right, Rosylnn. Dexterity save, please.
Big ol' honker. Big ol' honker. Did you get down to cracky?
I sure did.
That's
Nice.
right.
21.
Very nice. All right.
Because
Ooh,
my
one.
deck sucks.
You
so if I
too.
hadn't rolled well, whew.
You too managed to slow your fall. So you take 8 points of damage. Krishana, you take another 3 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
Because you're underneath.
Yes. And welcome, Gavin, just in time to make me a dexterity save.
All right, sounds good. Can I do anything as a rogue to not have this happen? You know,
Well, I think you're high enough level that you have evasion, so if you make it, you take no damage.
cool. I do have evasion.
Okay.
So what I'm sorry, dexterity?
A dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving. 23.
Yep. You are able to basically push off Rosylnn and vault over the edge. Unfortunately, in doing so, Rosylnn, you take another 11 points of damage.
Ow. Sorry about that.
Thanks so much.
So,
my bad. That's my bad.
There are now 3 people impaled on spikes. One person prone on the floor on the other side of the spikes, and one person wobbling but standing up on the other side of the spikes.
Is that me?
You're the one that's on the floor.
I'm on the floor. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
And
going to...
everyone is covered in magical grease.
Everyone is covered in zigoo.
Yes.
I'm going to apologize to Verrozz and tell him we're going to need to... Oh, well, I guess we need to start at the top, you guys. And that's a good thing I brought potions. I'm so sorry.
Yep.
So am I on the top of the pile?
Uh-huh.
I attempt to de-impale myself.
Well,
Okay.
somebody's on the other
I-
side, right?
Yeah, I turn to Gavin and say, pull?
I can do that. What do I need to do? Strength check?
Okay, hold on. If you are going to assist her, then Gavin, you need to make a medicine check.
Medicine.
To pull her off?
Yeah.
Checkaroonie.
Without
Okay.
causing more damage.
More harm.
18.
18
That's
will
pretty
do
good.
it.
Okay.
You manage to apply the pressure so that the spikes just slip out of the holes they caused and don't do any more damage.
Thank God.
So, Rosylnn, you are helped off the spikes.
Okay, so where am I?
Underneath her.
No. You are on the other side. You're in the room on the other side of the spikes.
Okay, so I'm not in the grease anymore.
No, but you're still coated in it.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
You and I are gonna have to try to get Verrozz like under him and like lift up from each side, I think.
Okay. So
And
I'm
apologizing the
with
whole way.
Verrozz and Mel.
Is that our understanding?
Well, no, Ellerin, you're still on the spikes.
Oh, I got on the spike?
Yes. You
were
managed to
the
you managed
filling
to
in a
you managed to
sandwich.
slow yourself down so you took very little damage.
Oh.
But
But you still got spiked.
you took a little more when Rosylnn slammed into you.
But I'm not on the spikes.
You and Gavin are not on the spikes.
Okay.
And Rosylnn is no longer on the spikes.
One's gonna have to push up, one's gonna have to pull.
So how come I got hurt again then?
Because you managed to flip over the spikes, but because you were greased, you couldn't land on your feet
Right.
and you hit the ground.
Right. But then you said I got hurt again.
That was probably me that you meant to tell.
Yeah, I meant to say that was Melerenn. Sorry.
Okay. And I didn't hear it because you said it was me. So how much? It was like 11 more points or something?
Yeah.
3.
3 more points. Yep.
3 more points. Okay. Okay. Gavin needs to pull and
I'll try to help if I'm not too injured.
lay down.
Yeah, what do we need? Who's next to come off the
Melerenn.
Melerenn? Do I have to roll another medicine check?
Whoever's taking the lead on this needs to roll the medicine check.
So can I help?
What's your medicine score?
8
Pretty much at this point, more than
It's
two
+8?
won't help anything.
What's yours?
Mine's
Yeah, I would say take yours in that because mine's only a +2.
Okay.
So you're gonna have a better shot at. I can help. I'll help you if you want, but you
21.
take the lead.
Okay. Yes, you are easily able to pull her off the spikes.
Okay.
Verrozz, I'm sorry. Ow.
He opens his mouth to say something and just ends up coughing up blood.
Oh. All right. Now Verrozz.
Verrozz, be injured.
Okay. 20.
20. You manage to get him off the spikes without causing any more damage, but he is severely wounded.
Right.
I'm going to give him my potion of greater healing, I think. Does he have
Yeah.
one?
Did
he get one of the ones that we... Because I think there were like 5 or 6. Everybody take a potion, I think.
He has a regular potion of healing.
I'll trade him.
I have one. I have the potion of superior healing. Maybe we should give him that.
That one, yes.
Okay.
we don't want to cast Cure Wounds.
Well, no, I'll do that too. I'm gonna count, but I mean, like, this is a lot.
I think.
All right. Then a potion of superior healing.
It's 8d4 plus 8.
8d4 plus 8. Oh, I don't have
Ooh.
that many d8s or d4s. So
Same. I don't either.
8d4.
Yeah.
Plus 8. That might get him closer. He's down almost half. Ouch.
Okay, I have 5.
let's see. Meh,
9.
I chatted.
12.
Hate it when that happens.
I got a total of 28.
Oh, that beats me for sure.
Okay.
Okay, so 28 for him.
Well, is it just 8d4 or is it 8d4 plus something?
It's plus 8. It's 8d4 plus 8.
So 36.
Okay.
That pretty much does it. He's only down like a point.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
And
All right. So, what room do we find ourselves in?
Same one you were in at the end of last week because you were trying to go up the stairs and
But we still have to heal, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, hold on.
I
Oh,
have
yeah, that's right.
I have lay on hands,
Mm-hmm.
so I can restore 50 hit points per long rest.
So you're down more than me, right?
I'm down 19.
Yeah, I'm down. That's why I was saying we should maybe do the small ones and keep that for a Hail Mary.
Right.
The lay on hands.
Yeah, 50 is a chunk.
Right.
So, where's the mass one?
I'm just going to take my potion of greater healing, I think.
Okay.
And that's how many?
44 plus 4. 1, 2, 3.
And
I-
I'll just cast wounds on myself. I'll just cast cure wounds on myself.
I rolled an 11, Melerenn.
Ooh, I think that's better than me. 4, 8. Oh, no, 12.
Oh, well, there you go. So 16.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I got 14 back.
Okay.
Okay, I'm fully healed.
I'm going to cast cure wounds on myself as well.
All right. And that's what, a D8?
2d8 plus 3.
I rolled a 10.
I got 16.
Oh, okay.
That's max.
I'll
Good
take
job.
that.
So that should get you pretty close.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm just down by 3 now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
I had to.
Drew, and
I
Gavin
used
didn't
one.
get hurt at all. So
Right.
and Mel, you did a potion.
I did. I had 2, so I took
Okay,
one.
so we're good. Okay.
And Verrozz is all better.
Yep.
I give him some water if he wants some.
Right.
Sorry about being impaled,
Yes. Terribly sorry. That
And
was
then-
embarrassing.
landing on you.
I blame Tozak.
We may need you to spider climb up and see if there's a lever or something, because there's slick and we're not going to be able to get up there. Didn't he have spider climb?
If he can't, I can. I think I should be able to. Well, it depends. Is this a dimly lit area?
It's about standard lighting, really.
Okay,
I mean,
so
you had that glowing ceiling.
okay, because I've got the cloak, but I can only use it if it's dimly lit.
Right.
He has the spider climb, right, though?
I do.
Okay, well, and he might have to do it.
Yeah, I got nothing. That's helpful in that regard.
Okay. Well, Verrozz says, I can probably carry people up one at a time.
Oh.
Well, is it possible that there's some way of making the stairs again?
Perhaps.
Perhaps start with Gavin to see if there is yet another trap up at the top of the stairs.
Can I see the top of the stairs?
No. Because remember, it winds upward. So you can kind of look up and you can see about where Gavin got to, but you can't see the top of the stairs. You can't see the
It's
actual
like a
landing.
bad carnival ride.
Gavin, we should probably check for traps to see if any of the other steps were trapped as well.
Yeah, I can do that. Where would you like me to check?
Well, the problem is you really can't at the moment because there aren't any steps.
Okay. I mean, the ramp itself wouldn't have any traps left.
It's a matter of how you would check them because it's still greased. So there's really no way to move back up it.
I see. Rude. Well, I guess you can check as you go, Gavin.
Yeah, if he can actually carry somebody up, then he should probably start with you.
Sure.
All right.
All aboard?
And you see him reach into his pouch and pull out what looks to be a dead spider and sort of crushes it in his hands and then casts a spell, and you see his hands are now covered in very small but stiff bristles.
Ooh.
And he says, "Climb onto my back."
Oakley dokley.
And he moves to the end of the stairs and goes up the wall and starts climbing up the wall above the ramp.
So while he's climbing, can I look at the wall and check it for any traps or anything that might
Sure.
make them stairs again?
Sure. Make an investigation check.
25.
Ooh.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary on the walls. All right. And one by one, he deposits you on the landing.
Okay.
All right, so we're back on the landing. Back on our feet again.
Yep.
Oh no.
So,
There it is. There it is.
if you would, go ahead and put yourselves on the map.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We got to do that. Boop.
Oh, there's a map.
Is there any other than the door and the stairs? Jeff, was there any other? There wasn't any other like opening, was there?
There was the room with all the chests.
Yeah, that was yeah. I meant where we are right now. And are there like things that are in there? Those are just like
Probably the statue guys that we
Or
already fought.
statues. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were in a different room. I didn't think the statues were in this room.
You are in a different room.
We are in.
There were only 2 that first room.
Now there are 4.
Yep. So,
Except I think you guys are going to have to step forward because there's 3 more of us that need to get in.
I
Is
don't
it-
wanna.
Is this a landing? I don't want to.
that's
I don't
the
wanna.
landing, but you can, if you wish,
You can't
do
make
what
me.
you did before and kind of slide low in between. And
Right.
Verrozz can stay
On
back
the
a little
wall?
bit because he's on the wall. So,
Okay, I'm going to be right. Yeah.
all right, you'll need to move up, put yourself sort of in between.
Is it?
It's alt. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not actually above you, but I don't know if I can throw myself under layer you. Never mind, that didn't make any sense.
You just stepped on my head.
Ow! Watch out!
I crushed your head.
Oops. Verrozz is there, and Annette needs to be up a little bit.
I am really bad at this. I have such a hard time seeing it. Okay.
Basically on top of Gavin, if you alt and move.
Is that better?
You want to go here.
Oh.
Like right there?
Annette does. And move over to the right one. There, perfect. Okay.
Got it.
Okay. This antechamber is bare, save for 4 statues near the only visible door. The first 2 appear to be large suits of armor and are facing each other across the space.
If you bedknobs and broomsticks us, I will beat you.
The 2 and the end appear to be robed skeletons, each looking at the staircase.
Oh yeah, I like where this is going. Not.
Skeletons.
Yeah.
So the only way out of this room is through that doorway, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so it means we've got to pass them. And there's nowhere else to go, so we might as well just
Take our
suck
luck.
it up. Who wants to go first?
Well, you do, obviously.
All right. I start walking towards the doorway.
Do we want to buff at all before we start?
Yeah. That's
I have not walked towards that doorway yet.
Very good.
A hand reaches out and stops you.
And kills me. I mean, stops me.
And stops you before we buff. What kind of buffs can you give us?
I would like to cast, let's see, Shield of Faith on Gavin, which gives him a +2 bonus to AC
Nice.
for up to 10 minutes.
I like that. +2 bonus to the AC. I like it.
And then I'm also going to cast Ensnaring Strike.
All right.
Yeah.
And oh, what the heck? I'm going to cast Moonbeam. It creates a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range.
Lovely.
What
All
does
right.
that do?
And I'm going to cast it on the 2 creatures, or if I can get them both, the ones that are closest together at the
Mhm.
far end of the room.
Yeah.
And it says when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there, it's engulfed in ghostly flames that cause searing pain, and it must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save or half on a successful one.
All
If
right.
it's a shape changer, it makes its saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay. Where do you want to put this?
Right between these 2 on the far side of the room.
There.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it on them or in front of them?
Directly between them, so that the 5-foot radius should get both of them, theoretically.
So you want to center it on them.
Between their 2 heads.
Okay. Like that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. As soon as Gavin moves, Verrozz is going to move into the spot that he vacated and cast a spell on himself that he can't do until he doesn't need to spider climb anymore.
Use his hands. Yeah.
So you want me to move?
Yeah, I
So,
think we're prepped, so.
All right.
Okay, let's do it.
I start walking towards the door.
All right. As you pass just beyond the two large suits of armor that are staring across the room at each other, you hear two raspy voices saying
Of
in
course
rough
I do.
unison, "You are trespassing, miscreants. This is the tower of my master, Tozak Varon, and we, his lich servants, will strike you down where you stand."
Is what?
Lich servants. Yeah, you heard that right. Yeah.
I heard it.
You heard that right.
I
And
heard it.
both
They
skeletons,
can't be lich servants.
Both
'cause
skeletons
We're only
im-
ninth level.
both skeletons immediately raise their hands and begin making motions you recognize as spellcasting motions.
Mother puss bucket.
I cast counter spell.
I cut their hands off.
Well, hold on. That's not all that happens.
Of course it's not.
Oh, wait, there's more?
Yes. You
Why?
hear let's see if I was smart and did this right. I did. You hear a clanking noise.
Crap.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
No.
Apparently we're supposed to die on this stairway.
I really liked these characters. I'm
I
just
did
gonna
too.
say that.
And
Two of
the,
them?
It was the shortest
the
evening.
two suits of armor
Oh.
step away from the walls and bring their weapons up.
I thought those were two extras. I'm okay if they're two of
No,
the same. That
They're
we were
the
already...
they're the two that you saw. So I need
Oh my god. Six of them were dead.
I need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh, mother of God. Oh, Jesus.
Mother
And-
of pearl.
Give me a moment because I have to depopulate
Ew.
the center area of my dice tray, so I've actually got room for all of this. All right.
Okay.
Ha! Wow.
So
Double
Whoa,
suck.
wow.
Double suck.
Double suck?
Okay.
So remember that counterspell is a reaction when I see another creature casting.
Right.
So that would come first, right?
Right, but you have to be able to identify the spell that they're casting.
Mm.
And
Doesn't-
hold on. We will get there.
No.
You have to wait a moment and let me get ready.
You have to wait a moment so that I can get ready to kill you all.
Yes. You know how the game is played. All right. So and well, I suppose that's not all that terrible. All right, Gavin, what did you get for initiative?
18.
Mel?
19.
Rosylnn?
15.
And Krishana?
Oh,
All right. Well, Mel, you're up first.
I am going to... No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come up
nope, that's that.
and smack, smack I think I just, yeah. Well, I'm not quite where he is, but
Okay.
the one on the left, or well, as we're looking at the screen,
Right.
that one.
Right.
And I am going to hit.
All right.
Okay.
Roll to attack.
A natural Kraken and a 10, which is hold please. So 27 and 17.
Both hit. Go ahead and roll your first attack. Double the dice and then add your bonuses.
Okay, I can never remember. I'm one arm strike. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, say that again.
So roll double the dice for the attack and then add any bonuses that you have, and that's the damage.
Oh, wait. Should I roll for the crit separately? The 17 was my second hit.
Yes. I'm just talking about the first hit. Roll double the dice, then add any bonuses for that attack.
Okay, so 8 plus 3 is 11. Oh, wait. 4 and 4 is 8, so 6. No.
You're right. 8 plus 3 is 11.
8 plus 3 is 11.
All right.
She does 55 points of damage.
Frick, I wish.
And then your second attack.
I'm confused, but that's okay. I guess it's done the one. It's 1d6. 2 plus 3 is 5. So small. And then flurry of blows.
Okay.
Oh, that one's not as good. Oh, well, 13 plus 7 is 20.
That'll hit.
Yeah. 1d6 plus 3. Ooh, 3 plus 3 is 6. God, I wish it was more.
So 6 total?
Yes.
Okay.
And then patient defense, I think.
Don't you get 2 extra attacks with flurry of blows?
Oh, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. I'm so bad at a monk.
Flurry means more than one.
Yeah, it was my understanding. Yeah.
17 plus 7.
That will hit.
24. And 3 plus 3 again is 6.
All right.
And where are my key points? And I'm going to spend another key point to take patient defense.
Okay. All right. Gavin.
Flame tongue short sword. Right
Hopefully
through the eyeball.
Hopefully
through
the
the
big guy
eyeball.
isn't too big.
Whoever the nearest person to me is, or whatever these things are.
Yep.
I'll swing.
They
them.
appear to be some form of animated armor.
Fun.
Working that now. 6.
That's a 20. That's a possible crit. Unless, can these things be critted?
Well, is it a natural 20?
Yes.
Then it's a crit.
Okay, just making sure.
I think in 5th edition, anything can be critted.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I don't have to run in 5th edition. You don't have to roll to.
Nope.
No, it's just an automatic.
That's why I was confused.
Roll all your damages twice and then add your bonuses once.
Roll all. What? Roll all my what? Twice.
Damages twice. So you've got damage for the sword and damage for the fire.
Yeah, so
you'll roll both of those twice.
Okay, so
and
1d6.
then add any other bonuses that you have.
that's a 6. So 6 and 5 is 11, and 2 and 5 is 7. So that's 18. And then the 2 dice 6. 5, 18.
I feel fairly useless now.
23 and 8. 31.
All right, which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Are you attacking the one on the left as you're looking at the map, or the one on the right? Mel's been attacking the one on the left.
I'll take the one.
The one on the right?
Sure, why not? What the hell?
Okay. Right. And just for point of reference there, Nikki, he did exactly 3 more points of damage than you did.
It just feels like such little.
But it adds up. Because you got 4 hits in.
True. Okay, I don't feel so bad now. It's like,
Well, I just happened to be lucky because the one I did was a crit.
Crit, right. I know, but my crit literally got me 4 extra points. Woohoo!
Every little bit helps.
Yep. Rosylnn, you would be up next.
Did my counter spell go off?
You threw your counter spell up, and you're poised to let it go as soon as you reach the point where, it's appropriate. Make an Arcana check.
$22.
22. You pause before you actually would complete the spell because you kind of cock your head and you're looking, and you see that the gestures they're making keep repeating every 3 seconds. And they're still doing it.
Would I know what that means?
You don't know, based on your experience and education, you don't know of any spells that the somatic components are repetitious like that.
Homina, homina, homina.
So maybe I should wait on my counter spell?
It's up to you, but there's something about this gives you pause.
Okay. Well, then I will not cast counter spell. And instead, I'm going to swing at the one closest to me.
Okay.
With my sword.
All right.
And that is a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
And I just realized I need a D10 because I am going to do that as a double-handed swing. And that is 10 points of regular damage and 2 points of radiant damage. And with my attack, the ensnaring strike comes into play.
All right. And they have to make a saving throw for that, correct?
Let's see. Yes, strength 15.
It seems unaffected by the vines. They are snapping as the thing moves.
Boo.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Right?
So I'll take my other strike and we'll swing at it again with my sword.
All right.
It does 9 points of regular damage, 3 points of radiant damage.
All right. Oh, wow, I haven't used any of those yet. Okay. It's Verrozz's turn, and he is going to cast Magic Missile at 4th level. Oof. Good God, I rolled 4 4s. So you see 4 missiles fly down the hallway, 2 each headed for the skeletons. And the 2 missiles each strike one of the skeletons, and they basically explode.
Yes.
Nice.
And you notice that on the floor, a couple of the fingers are still trying to move in that spellcasting gesture.
That's wrong.
I forgot to ask about that moonbeam spell. Did that do anything to them? The 2 on the far wall?
Nope. Didn't seem to affect them at all. Krishana.
So there's still 2 armor things, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I cast Firebolt at the one on the right, and I rolled a 21 to hit.
Okay.
And I did 15 points of damage. Because that's 2d10, I think. Yeah. Okay. And then I cast Spiritual Weapon.
All right.
And I rolled a 19 to hit.
That will also hit.
Okay. So 1, 2, 8. Ooh, 12 points of damage. And I'm out.
All right. Where are you placing your spiritual weapon?
Right between his eyes, or you know.
No. I mean, where in the room does it appear?
Oh, right by the animated stuff.
Okay.
So I just hit. I hit the same guy.
All right. Hold on. I'm trying to find something I can use as an icon to represent where that is.
No, okay.
Oh, that'll work. All right. Now, It is their turn.
Meh.
So the one on the left attacks Mel.
I have patient defense up.
What does that do for you?
I take the dodge action as a bonus action. It does say on your turn, but I always know that she does patience defense. But I don't know
All right.
why.
Well, the first swing goes wide. These things are not fast. The second one is coming down straight at your chest, but because you have patient defense, you just step back out of its way, and it misses.
Boom.
The other one is going to attack Rosylnn. The first one misses completely. The second one, however, comes down and slams against your left shoulder.
Ouch.
And you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. But now we're back to the top. So, Mel.
Sweet. I attack. Unarmed strike. Because everything, even if I use a hammer of anything, it's still the same. So I might as well unarmed strike.
Okay.
All right, snack. Okay, I got 8 and a natural 1 for 8.
So what was the first roll?
11 plus 7 is 18.
That will hit. The second one, alas, will not.
Alas, will not. 1d6 plus 3. Come on. 6 plus 3 is 9.
All right. You connect soundly and dent the armor.
I'm gonna wait for my furious blows.
Flurry of blows, right.
I know. I just can't say it sometimes. Because I'm assuming that there will be somebody bigger coming soon. And right now, I'm just gonna smack and then be done, and I'm just wait till the next thing.
All right. Then Gavin, you're up next.
Okie dokie. Swingy.
Now, this will count as a sneak attack. Because it is currently engaged and facing Rosylnn.
Oh, well, that ought to be fun.
That's a good thing. Snake attacks are good.
That is a good thing. Except for I got to remember what I can do on a sneak attack.
It's just extra damage.
Okay. All right, there we go. Once per turn, you can deal 5d6 damage.
In addition to your regular weapon damage.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sneak attack in 5th is like
I gotta make contact though first.
You do.
That's gotta be the important thing. Is let's
Yes.
make contact.
Please make contact.
contact.
Where's my
is
sword?
The answer. It's the real. And I don't even know if anybody remembers that show.
3, 2, 1, contact. I love that show.
Thank you.
What am I doing? I don't know.
Where is my colossal goon?
There we go. That's the thing I was looking for.
A ticket?
That's the
26.
Ticket. 26 will hit.
All right, let's see. So let's start with the 1d6 plus 5. Ugh. So 7. Then the 2d6 fire. Ooh, better. 11. That's 18. And then the 5d6.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love the way I'm rolling. 41 points of damage.
Nice.
How do you get 41 out of 5d6?
No, that's all total. That's everything.
Oh, how much was the sneak attack damage? Because I was doing it as you said it. So.
Oh. The would have been
Just the 5d6.
Yeah, no, I'm confused. 18 and then so it's 23.
23. Thank you. It is starting to come apart. You can actually see space between the armored pieces, and they're clattering against each other a little bit as it moves.
Teach you for turning your back, bitch.
Rosylnn?
So the one that was just attacking me just went bye-bye?
Oh, no. It's still up, but it looks beat to hell.
Well, I can help with that. I'm going to,
I thought perhaps you could.
I'm going to hit it with my sword. Okay, that is that's a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Does 9 points of regular damage and 4 points of radiant damage.
All right. It is still up, but how, you're not entirely sure.
I'm going to give it one more time then.
All right.
That is a 24 to hit.
That will also hit.
8 points of regular damage and 4 points of radiant damage.
How would you describe this creature's demise?
Well, considering that I'm working with a beam of light, that there would be a burst of searing light that goes through and comes out the other side of the creature.
All right. And you see it just kind of stand there shaking for a moment, and then it's like all the pieces of the armor lose cohesion, and it just kind of falls into a pile of armor pieces.
Cool.
And the rogue looks at it and goes, "Don't fall to pieces, buddy."
Thanks for the assist.
Oh, anytime.
All right.
Verrozz.
And Verrozz is simply going to throw a firebolt spell. Which does hit. So that's good. Let's see. Ooh. For 16 points of damage on the one that's left. Krishana.
I do firebolt as well. 24.
24 will hit.
Okay. 10 points of damage.
All right.
And
then you move the spiritual weapon over, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. And 20 points, or 20 to hit.
That will hit.
And, well, that 8-sided really likes me.
Mhm.
And it's 12 points of damage.
All right. it is now looking very, very, very beat up as well. This time, however, it's going to attempt to hit Verrozz. Ow. Which it does twice. Well, hold on a second. Actually, it only hit once because Verrozz casts Shield, and it actually causes the first attack to deflect, but the second attack does make contact for 11 points of damage. All right, back to Mel.
Mac. Oof. A 9.
That will not hit.
Because I can't roll worth diddly squat. And a 23.
The 23 will hit.
Yeah. 8 points of damage.
All right. Would you like to do anything else, or are you done?
I think I'm done.
All right. Gavin.
The one nearest to me, right, is gone. Go bye-bye.
Yes.
Killsy, deadsy.
Yes.
All right. What's near me here?
There's the other set of armor from across the hall.
Has that been hit yet?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that's all right.
People have been wailing on it.
I'll help.
Would he get sneak attack because it's engaged me?
He would get sneak attack damage on this one as well.
Cool.
Because
21.
it is engaged with both you and Verrozz. And
Okay.
21 will hit.
You going down. Going down. Gavin with the sneak attack.
Like some kidney punches from the back.
Yep, exactly.
With the stabby stab.
Cheap shots with the stabby stab. All right, so the first shot, that's 9 off the initial hit, and then the fire is going to be 7. No, yes, 7. So 9 and 7 is 16. I got to roll the 5. And another 16. So 16 and 16, 32 altogether.
All right. You manage to stab a very, very large hole in the back of it. And it, too, has begun rattling when it moves. Rosylnn.
I am going to go after the closest one with my sword.
All right.
There's just the one, right?
There's just the one now, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it when the batter cleans up? I forget. What is it called?
It's only a 10.
Cleanup crew.
That will not hit. So
And I try again.
You swing, and the angle is just off enough that it clangs off the armor.
Okay. Slightly better. 19.
That will do damage.
That is slightly better.
It is slightly better. 8
Cleanup.
points of regular damage.
How much?
8.
Okay.
And 3 points of radiant damage.
All right. Yeah, it's definitely looking close to done in.
Oh, I thought she'd be cleanup. It's called cleanup hitter. It's number 4.
Ah.
Comes back in and smacks everything.
And Verrozz is going to cast Firebolt again. And that will hit. For 14 points of damage. And Krishana.
$27 to hit.
Yes, that will definitely hit.
12. No, wait. Pull please. I can't remember exactly how that went. Yeah, just 12 points.
All right. How would you describe this creature's demise?
The helmet falls back, and the rest of the pieces of the armor all just splatter to the floor.
All right. And with that, the armored protectors are no more. The skeletons at the end of the room are in pieces with only their pedestals and a few feet and leg bones still sticking up from them. Everything else is in a pile on the floor in front of them.
Yeah, bitches. Sorry. I get a little excited when we kill things.
I got that.
I guess I'm gonna go over here and
Check for traps.
is that a door or just a doorway?
That is a door.
That is a door. All right. Well, then I will be checking that bad boy for traps. I didn't know. I thought maybe it was just a doorway, but it's a door.
Nope. It's a door.
Investigation, is that correct?
Yes.
Should we check the bodies for
Should we loot?
anything
You want to
useful?
loot?
I think we should loot.
I think
Are the
that's. I mean,
finger-
looting is
are-
a good idea.
Are the phalanges still moving?
Yes.
I'm going to beat on them with my spiritual weapon until they are dust.
Okay.
Because
All right.
Check them for rings. Maybe they got rings
They
on their fingers that might be
Stop
important.
moving at that point.
Good.
What did you
And
roll,
twice
Gavin?
for flinching.
To investigate, I rolled a 28.
You see absolutely no signs of a trap on this door.
Is it locked?
Yes.
Ooh, 15 to unlock it?
This lock eludes you.
Damn. Can I try again? Or can I not try again? No.
Can you wait and do a 20?
Can I just take a 20 on that?
No. You can try again. It will be more difficult, but you can try again.
You got this.
Oh, wait.
Wait.
Okay, I think I might have something here. Is that an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency?
Yes.
Okay. I have a psionic power, which will allow me to, if you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll one psionic energy die, 1 die 8, and add the number rolled to the check, potentially turning failure into success.
Well, all right then. Go ahead and
Try
do
it
that.
up.
Go on with your bad self.
5 or higher. 5 or higher.
Hang on, I got to get a die 8 here. So I got to add that to 15.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty then. And it's a 5, so that'll make it a 20.
Click.
Hey!
Hey.
Now what happens? You expend the die only if the roll succeeds.
Yep.
Oh.
So you have
does that
one.
mean?
You have a pool of psionic die.
Yes.
which you now have one less of
Okay.
until you complete a long rest.
Got it. Thank you.
Good lord.
So I open the door.
All right. So let's see. Here's what you can see. There's more beyond, but you can't see it from outside the room. This section of the tower seems sort of unusually wide open and inviting. There's warm light being shed from twin candelabras on either side wall, and the crackling fireplace on the south wall. There is a plush rug in the center of the room done up in beige, gold, and crimson. There are a trio of bookcases, one on the west wall and two on the east wall, empty, but showing in the dust on the shelves that there were, until recently, several books kept here.
Uh-oh.
And the fires, there is a fire in the fireplace?
Crackling quite happily.
Merrily.
You describe it your way, I'll describe it mine.
I don't know if I want to go in this room because I don't know what's in here.
Well, from what you can see from where you're at,
There's nothing
two candelabras, three bookcases, a rug, and a fireplace.
Yeah, but then I'm going to walk in and somebody's going to shoot me from up here in the black.
I'll come
You
in
might be a
behind
little
you.
paranoid at this point.
I'll come in behind you.
All right. Huckleberry goes through the door and starts wandering. I'll go to right there.
Mind the rug.
Oh, shoot. Too late.
Okay.
I'm on the rug.
He goes right there.
Too late. I put myself there. I'm in trouble now if it's a rug that comes to life and eats me.
If we need to move more in, I'll move more in.
There.
Oh, don't move in the fire.
Yeah, that's bad.
I thought I was standing on the hearth.
Apparently you were standing in the fire.
You can see that the room extends. This room, north to south, is probably the entire length of the tower. So this is probably, with the exception of the bottom floor with the teleport circle, this is about the largest room you've come across. You can see on the other side, there is a massive rug with the same color scheme, but in a different pattern. There's an over-large candelabra standing in the center of the north wall. Just to its right, there looks to be a desk and a chair. It looks like there's a bench sitting against the north wall over on the east side, and you see that there is a low set of wooden stairs leading up into something that is mostly covered in blue curtains. Oh, and the rug seems completely unperturbed by your stepping on it.
It's not a rug that comes to
Well,
life.
that's good.
Thank God.
Um,
I'm gonna walk down.
there's no books on this shelf except dust.
You can see that there's a little bit of dust on the shelves, and you can see where there were books.
There are no longer books there.
There are no longer books there.
I'm gonna walk. Yeah, this is a bad idea, but what the hell? I only live once. I'm gonna walk down to right about there.
Okay.
I'm gonna look towards those stairs. What do I see?
Set about 3 feet up off the floor. It looks, from what you can see, you're not entirely sure, but there appears to be a blanket, maybe?
A what? I'm sorry, you kind of cut that.
A blanket?
A blanket.
Oh, I thought he said a git.
Yeah.
Well, I figured he cut out. That was the problem. Was I figured he cut out. That's why I wanted.
Same.
Yeah.
I heard the same thing.
I was like, you're right. There is a git.
It's a blanket, it looks like.
A blanket. Okay. Covering covering the stairwell, like.
No, up past the end of the stairs.
Up past the end
So
of
it
the
might be a
stairs.
bed chamber that's covered by
Okay.
curtains.
Anything over here on this desk that's kind of funky to look at?
Let's see. You can now see the rest of what's over here. There is a brazier over here on the east wall that is lit. Seems to be filled with glowing coals. It's emanating heat. You also see a third rug in front of another door. And you see a bookcase that is filled with sheets of parchment bundled together in groups.
Look, so that's there. There was nothing on those other bookshelves, but it looked like there used to be stuff there. But this one still has whatever its contents were.
Right.
Looking at these fires, Jeff, are they? Could we be able to tell? Would these possibly have been set before he disappeared, or does it look like they may have been set after the snapping?
Make a survival check.
The snapping.
I know. I didn't know what else to call it.
That was good. I like that.
Thanks.
Some
I'm
might
sorry.
call it blip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Survival, you say?
Yes.
That's not a bad roll for me. I'll take that. That's a positive. 24.
Ooh.
It looks, the brazier looks like it's been burning for some time because it's down to like red hot coals. The fireplace, you can't really tell.
It's
Okay.
magical.
Okay.
He said he was looking at the desk. If he's not, then I will.
All right.
Right? Didn't he say he was looking at the desk?
I did. I asked if there was anything on the desk.
There's nothing on the desk itself other than a couple candles and a stack of blank parchment.
But it's blank. There's
Yeah.
nothing on it. Okay. Well then I'm gonna use the bookshelf over here with all the stuff on it.
All right.
I take the parchment off the shelves. At least I grab a bundle. You said they were bundled together, right?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
was bundled,
And so I grab a bundle and look at it. What can I make heads or tails of it?
Hold, please.
Oh, please.
Ah. Damn it, I keep doing that, clicking on the wrong thing. Do. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted.
It's not.
I just don't seem to be able to type well tonight. Not sure why, but... All right.
There's so much liquor in this room.
Yes, there is.
Just a lot.
All right. So, you walk over to look at the bookcase, and you feel a writhing around your feet. And suddenly, Gavin, you are completely engulfed.
Those damn carpets.
Engulfed in.
The rest of you in the room see the rug rise up and just wrap itself around him and begin constricting.
I run over to it.
Oh, goody.
Hold on. We'll get to that.
Jeez Louise.
Rugs. What did I tell you?
Yeah, you did. You warned me.
Gavin.
Yes.
You are grappled.
I am grappled.
You are also restrained, blinded, and beginning to suffocate.
Oh, goody. Well, nothing difficult there.
Right. So, I need everybody to roll initiative.
That sucked.
Let's see which one sucked more.
Right.
I bet mine was worse.
Probably. Mine wasn't horrible, but it was
mother
definitely not.
puss bucket.
Verrozz is basically standing over there with his nose and his finger in his nose, right?
Verrozz rolled a 1
Ooh.
for an ish, so...
Not that bad.
Mel?
8 and 3, 11.
311?
Gavin?
22.
Ooh.
Rosylnn?
7.
And Krishana? What'd you say?
16.
16.
I'm going to write down rug, alive.
Rug equals big lie.
Gavin equals
Constricted.
constricted.
All right. So, Gavin,
You
you're up first. What would you like to try and do?
You warned me, though.
Because you
What
are
if-
grappled, restrained, blinded, and slowly suffocating.
What happens if I light the flame on my short sword? Would that burn it?
You can try it.
How would I mean, so I turned the flame on my sword.
All right. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Is it just roll the 2d6 as the flame damage?
Yep.
Okay. 7.
All right. You smell smoke.
Smell it.
Yep. right. Now it's the rug's turn.
Goody.
And you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage as it begins to constrict around you.
Goody.
Jesus Christ.
Krishana.
Ah. I have no spells that will help. Uh, well, I don't want to. I start pulling at the rug.
Mm-hmm.
All
Do you want me
right.
to roll
Make a strength or I guess this would be an athletics check.
Okay.
Yeah.
17.
You are pulling at it. You are uncertain if it's doing any good or not.
Okay.
Mel.
I'm going to run over there and start trying to pull the rug off. I actually know if we beat the rug, we'll beat the person inside the rug. So what am I rolling? Strength?
Athletics.
Beat him. Beat him. Oh, wait.
No, athletics. I think I'm good at athletics. 15 plus 6, 21.
Ooh, sorry. Doesn't seem to do much, if anything.
I'm just going to keep on trying.
All right. Verrozz.
I'm going to approach the rug and...
No, hold on. Verrozz goes first.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said Roz.
Oh, I said Verrozz.
Gotcha.
I can see how that might be confusing.
Wow. All right. Well, Verrozz is going to try. You didn't want to do this yet, but all right. He's going to try casting Dispel Magic.
Ooh.
Look at that.
So let's see. That's 16. Ooh. And you see this wave of energy kind of drift out toward the rug, and it strikes the rug, and the rug just goes fluff.
Oh, thank God.
And Gavin, you go.
A, thank you, Verrozz. B, remember, rug's bad. Okay.
Rug's bad. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Rug's bad.
Can
Maybe.
somebody heal me? I'm down now 21 hit points.
Oh, yeah.
I may need a little healing.
Oh, yeah. That I can do.
And Verrozz comes over, grabs the rug, pulls it to the other end of the room, and throws it in the fireplace.
Oh.
I could have taken the sword again and tried to light it on fire.
I rolled 2d8 plus 8. I got 17.
Not bad.
I got 19.
19 it is.
I'll take the 19. That puts me right. So I'll take it.
Whew.
And with that, I go back to looking at what I had in my hand before I was so rudely interrupted.
All right.
I'll go look at the desk. Are there drawers in the desk?
There are.
Okay. I'll head on over that way.
Okay.
I will. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I will look at the books on the shelves.
There are no books on those shelves.
Oh, I thought there were.
Nope. There's the imprint in the dust of where there used to be books.
Are
But
there
the shelves
books?
are all empty,
Oh, all the shelves are empty?
except the one that Chad's looking at in the
Really?
upper
It's got all the
right-hand
that's got all the bundled parchment.
All right.
Yeah.
What are the blue wavy things on the wall on the upper left side?
curtains.
Curtains, yeah.
I'm going to check in and around and behind the curtains.
Don't touch the curtains.
It's-
You remember what happened to me in the rug. I'm just saying,
I touch them with my sword.
if a rug can be magical, curtains can be magical.
I
Just
look
be
at them.
careful.
Yes,
It-
I'm going to touch with the sword.
It's curtains for you, Dr. Horrible. Lacy, gently wafting
Gently wafting
curtains.
Wow.
All right. They appear to just be curtains. You poke them with the sword, and they move a little bit. And
Nothing behind them, or
well, do you look behind them?
I use the sword to kind of push them back so I can look behind them.
There is a very, very large bed.
Oh,
Yeah. Like an elevated bed.
look. Is that a bed?
Is that a
Ooh.
bed?
Look,
I am.
bed.
Look for the P. PEA, by the way. Figured I should probably. No. I'm still at the desk.
Okay. All right. So, Gavin, looking at the bundles of parchment, what do you do? You're sitting there. There's tons of bundles of parchment.
I will grab a bundle and just read what's on the first page of the top piece of.
It looks like this is Tozak's notes.
Notes on
All of his experiments.
Research.
The date on this one looks to be about 2 years ago.
I wonder if there'd be anything in here on the fappening. I mean, snappening. I made Doc laugh. Anyway, can I make I mean, I can read it, but do I understand? I mean, because he's obviously a high-level wizard.
Make an Arcana check.
He's a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
Make an Arcana check. Yeah, I can't read shit. 15.
15. You can sort of follow it. You get lost in some of the more technical magical terms, but
Mm-hmm.
basically sort of follow it. It appears he was preparing a brazier for some use that it wasn't normally used as. And you kind of look to your left and, well, there's that brazier sitting there.
That was at least lit a couple of days ago. I asked Verrozz over to see if he can make heads or tails of this. I say it appears to be something about a brazier that's supposed to be used for something that it's not supposed to be used for, and I see this brazier is or was lit. Can you make anything out of this?
He looks. Give me a moment. And he kind of takes it and reads it and starts wandering over towards the brazier. So, Mel, you are looking at the desk.
How many drawers are there?
4.
I feel like they'll be trapped, so I'm just gonna wait and call Gavin over.
Okay.
I'll wait till he's done and then call him back over.
Well, I'm fine right now because he's reading what I gave him, so I can come over and.
There are lots of other bundles.
Oh. Do I start reading through them? I'll go back. Let me help over here first. This might be a faster thing before trying to read bundles. So.
Okay.
How many drawers do we got?
4.
4. Let's start. 2 on each side?
Yeah.
Let's start top left.
Okay.
All right. First of all, we're checking it for traps. And we're checking for traps. And that's a shitty roll to check for traps. 15.
You do not detect any sign of a trap on that drawer.
Till it blows up in my face. Is it locked?
You don't see any locking mechanism on the desk itself anywhere.
I tell Melerenn to stand back. I'm just gonna be honest. Listen, I don't see a trap, but I don't trust. So back up.
Step back.
Because if anything, I'll try to evade, and we'll see what happens. Then I drop my die, and then I chad. Then I chad my die. Damn it, Jim. Yeah, rolled better there. 23.
For what?
Oh, that's right. It's not locked.
Right.
Shoot. I was trying to unlock. Well, what the hell? I opened it up.
Okay.
Top left one, open it up. Bang!
You open the drawer.
And what's in it? Or what's gonna jump out and kill me?
Quills.
Quills.
There are probably a couple dozen quills.
Quills, top left, quills. Let's go top right then.
All right.
And 24 to check for traps.
You do not see any sign of a trap.
Now, has a lock on it?
Nope.
Open.
Open. It's filled with what look like candle stubs.
Candle stubs. Bottom left. 22.
You do not see any sign of a trap on this one either.
Lock.
Nope.
Open.
More blank parchment.
Parchment. And bottom right. 27.
Ooh.
You do not see any sign of a trap on that one either.
Lock.
Nope.
Open.
It looks to be ink bottles. A lot of them are empty. A few of them are still filled with ink.
There you
Wasn't
go.
sure. Yeah, we didn't know.
All right, I'm gonna go back, grab another bundle, and see what I can figure out reading.
I will grab a bundle too.
All right.
I'm going to investigate the bed area.
Okay.
I'll
Now
send
that-
her. She's gonna take a nap.
Now that I know that there's nothing in the desk, I'll follow up Rosylnn.
She
I'll
wants to take a nap as well.
I'll fall in behind her.
Feeling under the covers, looking under the bed,
Backstroke. Ooh.
lifting up and looking under the mattresses.
It's very soft.
All of a sudden, we hear.
Very comfy.
Cotton.
Exactly.
It looks like a rather expensive but comfortable bed.
High thread count sheets.
Feather mattress.
Yep.
I stroke the headboard. Rich Corinthian leather.
Rich Corinthian leather.
Who are you, Ricardo Montalban over there, or what? Is this Fantasy Island?
No, a little bit more Deadpool than Fantasy Island.
Ah,
Oh,
rich Corinthian leather.
oh my goodness.
All right,
Fun.
so you continue to look through through the notes. Krishana, you actually find one that talks about his experiments with the idea that illusions are partially real and can be brought to reality with the correct application of magic, and it's just an entire bundle of frustration because nothing
He
he's
can't figure it
trying is
out.
working. And at the end, he says, I suspect that this theory may be complete and utter shit.
Bunk, you might say. Poke 'em.
Bupkis.
Yep.
Oddswallop, dare I add?
Ooh.
Gavin, the section you're reading is from, it's probably one of the oldest ones on the shelf, given that the ink is actually faded a bit. But it's talking about how he has recently completed his apprenticeship in Chronurgy, and how he is anxious to begin experimenting with the concepts of manipulating time through magic.
That doesn't sound dangerous at all.
No.
Guessing all the people who go into chronology probably have bad intentions with time travel.
Is that like everybody that's in Slytherin? Do they all turn out to just be bad people?
It's not good.
It's not good.
And then you hear Verrozz gasp.
Oh, found something.
And you look over, and the bundle of notes has fallen from his hand as he's staring into the brazier.
Oh no.
Did you come up across a vampire there, Verrozz? What's the good word there, my friend?
Is he dead on staring into it, like unable to move?
He's blinking. He's just, he is absolutely rapt. You get the impression, well, make a perception check. Let's do it that way.
Me?
Yeah.
All of us?
Just Mel right now.
Ooh, perception. I don't think my perception's that good. Let me look. 16.
16. You can't really tell because you're a little ways away, but it's clear that he is focused on whatever he is seeing in the coals.
I'm gonna run over and smack him.
Ooh, that seems kind of rude.
Not if he's stuck eyes ball in the brazier.
Roll to hit.
11 and 7, 18. 18.
Roll damage.
I'm just gonna hit him once. I'm not gonna double strike. 7 points of damage. I don't want him stuck in
That's
that.
a really hard slap.
I barely did that kind of damage. Bad things.
When you fell on us, you did 11 points of damage. So, and we were impaled.
Verrozz, bitch slap. Psh.
His head immediately snaps forward and he goes, "Ah! What was that for?
I didn't want you to be enthralled by it.
I'm not enthralled."
Forgive her. She drinks.
That's actually
He does
true.
too.
That's actually very true.
What did you read there, sir?
It's not reading, it's seeing. My brother enchanted this as a scrying device, and I see them.
Oh
You
no.
see who?
Yes.
I'm assuming the
townsfolk.
townspeople.
The townspeople.
Where are they?
I don't know. I don't have the ability to manipulate the view. I simply see wherever he locked this image. But I recognize them. And they are, if I am seeing now, they are alive.
Are they well?
Let's see. Where did I write this? He describes what he's seeing. It's a fairly large group of people who appear to all be working together using what appear to be very basic tools. And they look as though they're in the process of building fences and structures.
Like barricades to keep something out, or
He says it looks like fences. And it looks like they're in the process of putting up a building. But again, he can only see about a 30-foot diameter area, and beyond that it just gets dark. And he can't move the image at all.
are they inside, outside?
Outside.
Is there grass on the ground? Is the sky blue?
He can't see the sky. This is an image that's looking straight down at the ground. It's daytime
Okay.
because he doesn't see any torches or any campfires or anything like that, and there's light.
And there's grass on the ground?
Some. But there's a lot of mud.
Is it currently a time where there would be mud? Is it like
Is it spring here?
there's no mud outside right now though?
No, it's too cold for mud outside right now.
Oh, okay, it's cold.
But
So maybe this is a time.
this is, you know, that in this part of the world at this time of year, the weather is very volatile.
No.
It could be warm and wet. It could be cold and dry. It could be any combination thereof.
Sounds like Colorado. 73 yesterday, snow today.
Yeah, sounds like Michigan too.
60 something today. It's supposed to be 30, 40 and 30 in the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Tell you what, you guys can have our snow. That's what's coming, I guess.
No.
Liar's Spring. Yep. But he's looking, and he says, I do recognize some of these people. They are from this town.
Do you recognize any landmarks for the land? Any rocks or trees that are recognizable?
It's too restrictive a view. I see nothing in that viewing area.
Are there any people in view that you do not recognize?
Some, but I don't know everyone that lives here.
Right. Dang it.
The fact that I recognize anyone I consider to be extraordinarily heartening.
Can I ask a question?
Of,
Verrozz.
of Verrozz or of the GM? Certainly.
I know you didn't know Allie. You didn't necessarily know her. I guess I'll ask the DM. There are absolutely no animals, no bugs, no birds, no bees, no nothing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, back to Verrozz. Do you find it strange that Allie was a rat but was not affected, and all of the animals and everything were affected, considering she would be affected too? It's just been on my mind.
I think it was less the fact that she was an animal and more the fact that she was already in shadow. She was in the dark.
I would disagree.
All right.
I don't think light or dark would have made any difference, but it's possible that because she was already transformed by transmutational magic, that she might have been insulated.
Okay. Well, it's just been on my mind a lot.
I don't have an explanation that I can say is the explanation. I only have guesses, but that would seem a possibility.
So if I look into the brazier, can I see what he sees?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Okay.
You say, "Can I look?" And he's like, "You can certainly try."
You can certainly try.
I can see shit. 12.
You see glowing coals.
Hey, look, fire.
It does take a bit of magical acumen to adjust your vision to actually see through the flames.
Do you know of any way to reach through the flames or send a message through the flames?
I could. He pauses for a second. He's clearly racking his brains. I have no way of doing that at the moment.
What do you need?
A night's sleep.
Would this be a good place to rest? Are we staying here?
We
There's a
certainly
bed.
could.
There's a bed.
What time of the day is it? It shouldn't be
There's a bed.
too much longer. Like more like 3.
Yeah, it's probably mid to late afternoon at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, you certainly could.
Take a short rest.
Well, he would require a long rest.
I think he needs a long rest. Yeah, I think that's...
because he has not prepared the sending spell.
But we do not know if
That would mean staying here into the evening.
Yeah, I'm actually going to walk back to here and kind of listen down the steps, the slidey steps, to see if I can hear anything.
All right, make a perception check.
Oh, please, please, please. I'm not going to roll that one. I'm going to roll this one. Come on, you're prettier. You're prettier. Oh, well. 14 plus, what is it?
Perception.
17. God.
You close your eyes and focus on listening down the stairs. You don't hear anything. But you open your eyes and you look forward and you realize that you are once again looking at stairs.
Huh.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it reset itself.
Apparently.
I am completely paranoid. But that's just Nikki.
That's just Melerenn.
No, that's Nick.
Melerenn hasn't had that many bad experiences yet.
No, she's had some bad experiences, but so she's just moderately paranoid. I am hugely paranoid.
It's because of the other Aecathan game.
It is because of the other Catherine game.
I have done horrible, horrible things to them in that other game. Clearly.
Yeah.
Much
He
worse
has.
than I ever anticipated.
He has affected me. It has affected me far greater than I thought it would. First, there's moving shrubs, which are adorable, and then there's like stabbing in the back by friend.
By the cute old poor lady that they took under their wing.
It was rude.
Oh, well, I hope you killed her.
I was
Not yet.
Not yet.
Bad.
They haven't been able to catch her.
Nah, well, that's a problem.
I was suspect of her, but
You,
I
so
couldn't.
you were suspect? You
Yes.
were suspicious?
She was
Sus-
suspicious.
Suspicious.
She was sus.
Yeah, she was super sus. And I tried to like tiny bit get to the bottom of it, and I didn't roll well enough, and she was prepared, and
It just didn't work.
we missed everything.
We did.
And it was
Yeah.
it was a big everything.
We're sad.
So are we going to want to stay in this tower for a long rest?
Yes, we certainly
I
are.
mean, I think we can.
Well, do you think that the things that come out of the dark are going to be able to get us up here?
I don't know. We've got
we could.
time.
Yeah, we could.
We've got a fire.
We could close that door. I
Okay.
might be able to put some sort of.
This is
We've got
this is a relatively well lit chamber.
Yeah, I think we should be okay up here.
And Verrozz tells you that he. Well, let me make sure before I open my mouth.
well, it's currently only like 3, so maybe we can explore some more and come back. I don't know.
He
Initiative.
tells you that given sufficient time, he can cast a spell that will give us a safe space to rest in that no one will be able to get into.
That
love
sounds real good.
That
Go
sounds
for it,
good. Do we do it now? Like, can we
Well, what
force
if the
ourselves?
window closes?
What?
I mean, the ability to communicate with them, the coals.
Yeah, I don't think we should leave
Right.
until we figure this out.
Well, you can settle in and everybody take a packet of notes and
That's true. Do
Yeah,
some light
start reading.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
start reading. Yeah,
sounds good.
that works for me.
Everybody roll a d20 for me, just a straight d20.
$14.
It was a 14. then it
16.
rolled back. 4.
15.
Doc?
14.
14. Haha. All right. So, Krishana,
Yes.
you actually find the most recent packet of notes.
Okay.
And after comparing with everybody else's,
Dear diary.
it says the last entry looks like it was written in some haste because the penmanship is noticeably worse than the rest of it. But it reads, I believe the end is in sight. I've had some minor success, so tonight I will attempt to send myself back to approximately 973 post-dawn, and I will witness the shattering for myself after acclimating myself to the time. I will be able to then write the story and become one of the most famous historians in all of known Aecathan.
Oh, for God's sake, he sent everybody back to the shattering.
Um,
The whole freaking town.
I didn't study in school. Can somebody tell me what the shattering is?
You would know.
Pretend like you never
Gavin
studied.
would know.
I never studied. I never studied.
Some sort of catastrophe befell the world.
Ah.
No one knows exactly
what.
why. No one knows exactly what. But magic became unstable and unreliable. The gods vanished. And it was only after the shattering that the gods that people recognize now in Aecathan came into being.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say that can't be good.
Oh my god.
I'm just going to go ahead right now and say what everybody else is. That can't be good.
So he wanted to go back and write the history of the shattering.
He wanted to go back and live through it and then come back.
Well, if everybody.
Why did he take everybody with him? Well,
I don't think he did it on purpose.
Yeah, that could be.
I think he thought he was buying a taxi ride for one, and he actually bought a bus ride for everyone.
Oh, thank you for this nice bus ride to hell.
I'm sure he's very popular right now.
Probably buried under the fence right now. They're probably all trying to stick him with fence posts right at the moment. Let's see who can aerate him with a fence post.
Maybe he's with the people that we can see. Maybe they can get him a message, or he can get a message to us through them. And
Let's
maybe
hope.
there's something that he needs, and that's why they're stuck.
Maybe.
Ooh, so
Maybe we
sending
can help.
Yeah,
Can Verrozz do sending?
tomorrow.
After he rests,
Okay.
he didn't prepare it, but he does know it.
Okay. Well, then I think we should all rest and get all of our spell points back so that we
Roz,
can.
you were impaled. You can take the bed.
Roz, you were impaled. You can take the bed.
You can take the bed, seeing as you were the one that had to slide down first and get shish kebabbed. You can go ahead and, you know.
We all pushed you further down on the skewer. Take the bed. Take the bed.
Does he have is he talking about a tiny hut?
Yes.
Okay, then we all kind of got to sleep together.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he casts it,
Oh,
and it. Well, what?
go ahead.
Well, you finish reading, you get yourself some food. He does say that, the rug is now completely consumed in the fireplace, so the fireplace can be used for dinner.
Okay.
We can walk in and out of the hut, correct?
Yes. He's the only one who can't leave.
Okay. Once he puts up the hut, I'm going to walk over, grab all of the bedding, and pull it over and be like, here, now you have some comfy.
Okay. All right. Well, he casts the hut. It takes a little while because he can only do it as a ritual. So it takes 11 minutes. But he casts it, and this shimmering dome appears, and it basically covers that large square rug.
Nice.
And then he says, "Nothing can breach this, short of a god."
Sounds good.
All right, then.
Or someone powerful enough to dispel my magics. But I don't foresee that finding us here. The fact that Tozak's security measures were still in place leads me to believe that nothing else has made it this far.
By the way, Jeff, I forgot to tell you that I am wearing... I have an amulet that has It's an amulet of proof against detection and location.
Okay.
So this is while wearing this amulet, you're hidden from divination magic.
Yep.
And can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sense.
Yep. I am very familiar with how those work right now.
Okie dokie.
Light. I also have the light hammer of warning, so we can't really be set upon in the night.
All right. As you settle down using the various blankets and pillows from the bed to sort of make everybody more comfortable, Verrozz darkens the exterior of the dome, which causes it to dim a little bit on the inside, so make it easier to sleep. And do you want to set watches?
Yes.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
I can do third.
You guys need spell points, though, right?
Right, but
No, they'll.
I can take 4 hours and then I'm good.
Yes,
I'm an elf.
she's an elf.
Okay, so 2 for him, 2 for me, and 4 for her.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
All right. As you settle in, your watch is configured. You fall asleep, and you can't help but think about what Verrozz saw in the brazier, what Krishana read in the notes, and you're starting to put this puzzle together, but you still don't know if there's a solution or just determining the full picture. And you continue to think about that as you drift off into unconsciousness. And this is an excellent time for us to take a break.
Yay! A break.
Yes. So
A break.
we will take 15 minutes. We will be back immediately after that. It will be the next day, hopefully. And we'll see what happens. So, see everybody in 15.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Sorry.
And welcome back, everybody. All right. So, who's taking the first watch? Mel is. Then please make me a perception check.
Ooh, natural 18 plus 3, 21.
Your 2 hours go by without incident. The only thing you hear, apart from the gentle snoring of your companions, is the crackling of the fire in the fireplace.
Good. I wake up Gavin.
All right.
Gavin is awake.
All right. Then if you would, sir, make me a perception check.
God damn it. Ooh. 20.
20. You too see nothing out of the ordinary, and the 2 hours goes by uneventfully.
Yay! And I wake up Annette's character, whose name I forget at the moment.
Krishana.
Krishana, there we go.
Krishana.
Krishana.
Yep.
I wake up Krishana.
Then, Krishana, will you please make me a perception check?
Krishana.
$17.
17. The 4 hours goes by. You see and hear nothing worrisome.
Yay.
And after 8 hours passes, you see about rousing everyone else.
I do.
Verrozz lets the dome lapse. And everyone, you have completed a long rest. So
Yeah.
on D&D Beyond, click the long rest button and then confirm it.
Take long rest. Confirm. Confirm is important.
Yes.
It is. Whoa.
Ooh, look at all of those lovely, lovely spell slots that I have back now.
Mm-hmm.
All abilities have reset. Bing.
Key points back. Yay.
Let's see. Sending is 3rd level, so what do I not want? Ooh. All right, well, since I know someone else has it,
Mm-hmm.
I will do that.
Oh, I can change my spells.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. So, Verrozz says, I am prepared now. Who should I attempt to contact?
Your brother?
Or is there somebody else
and
in
again,
town
yeah, unless there's
that
somebody you
have
feel
a
like.
better relationship with?
Yeah. Is there a female friend in town that maybe you were hanging out with?
No.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd run that up the flagpole.
So presumptuous.
I mean, it doesn't say through time. Like, he would know the sending spell doesn't go through time, but what are other options?
I could try contacting Aladwar.
Who's that?
She was the tavern keeper, or the temple keeper of the Temple of Awaris in Daka.
Okay. Do I have something? I do. we haven't contacted our boss lately. So I should probably do that as well.
Oh, you have sending as well?
I do.
All right.
Question.
Answer.
We went to bed about 5 or 6 or 3 or...
Well, you rested, had dinner. It took several hours to go through all of the bundles of notes.
So like 9 to 9 or 9 to...
Yeah, like 9 to 7.
9 to 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. What should I? What is the name of our boss?
Oh gods, it's Forge Master, Strawzad Flintbane. I can remember the last name, but I can remember the first.
Okay. So
it's Captain Flintbane.
Oh, that's right.
have determined chronometurgist, something like that.
Chronurgist.
So I made it longer. Chronurgist accidentally sent whole town back to pre-shattering times. Can see them by magical means.
Any thoughts or suggestions?
Any thoughts or suggestions? Yeah, it's real fucked up. Don't know what to tell you.
Right, because he's a...
You send the message off into the ether, and there's a little bit of a pause, and then you hear, "Son of a bitch! That idiot!"
Oh, so he knows our idiot. Maybe.
Try to find some way to bring them back. And if he comes back too, arrest him. Bring him.
Okay. Okay.
I see. Flintbane happy.
Well,
Not really.
it is a rather impressive pickle.
On the scale of Aecathan fuck-ups, it's pretty far up there.
This is one for the books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So,
we wait for Verrozz to figure out who he's going to contact.
he says he's going to try contacting Aladuar. So he casts a spell. You see him concentrating intently, so you know he's forming the message and sending it. And then he waits.
And then he continues to wait.
About 5 minutes goes by.
Mm.
She is not responding.
Can go through the ether, can't go through time.
If she is in another time or on another plane, it will not work.
Mm. Well,
I relay what our boss said.
Normally I would question whether Forge Master Flintbane has the authority to make such a decree, but in this instance, I don't care. This is a result of my brother's rush for power and his lack of commitment to the effective study of his magic. I have warned him time and time again there would be consequences. He did not listen.
Wielding magic without the wisdom to use it is a fool's errand.
I mean, we can only pick up from here and go on.
Yes. Well, there is yet one door we have not tried.
I believe I hear my name being called.
You do.
I'm right behind you.
Okie dokie. What happened? I all of a sudden lost my roll 20.
That's not good.
No, I hear the echo as well. And that's really annoying.
Mm.
There we go. Somebody figured it out. Wasn't me, but thank God somebody did. All right, so I'm at the door. Is it a door?
Yes.
I'm assuming it's not just a doorway, it's a door.
It is a door.
All right, and I realized I've been doing this all wrong again, and I could be helping myself out with these stupid checks. I put on my gloves of 3.
Oh, all right.
Oh, yeah.
Which I have, and will add +5 to dexterity sleight of hand checks
Excellent.
and dexterity checks made to pick locks. Jeez, I wish I
Lovely.
would remember these things.
Would've
So,
helped the whole grease staircase thing.
yeah, probably would have, wouldn't it have? My God.
No, that was he didn't realize there was a trap.
Let's see. So anyway, so
Was
+5
it starting
to
to
sleight of
pick
hand,
up?
and so if I'm investigating, so not for a trap, but only to pick a lock. So
Right.
it won't help with checking for traps, but it will help
Correct.
with lock picking. Okay, anyway. So checking it for traps, 24.
You've gotten pretty good at looking at these doors in the tower, and you look all around this one, hinges, latch, all around the door. You don't see any signs of any sort of trap, mechanical or magical.
Okay, it's locked.
It is not.
I open the door.
You open the door. You see beyond it a
Oh, goody.
room with another staircase leading upward.
Up or down?
Up.
Leading up. Okay.
This time I bet you'll be checking for traps the whole way up, huh?
I'll be doing something to see what I can do. Well, I go through the doorway. Do, 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 do.
All right. You step through the doorway. This room too
We going up the steps?
is lit with that softly glowing ceiling.
Okay. We going up the steps, folks?
Yeah, with you checking them.
Yeah, after you've checked them for traps.
At every step. At
Okay. Is
every
it
single step.
every single? You want me to check every single step?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, just give me one roll for the staircase.
One roll for the stair. One roll to staircase them all.
Mm-hmm. One roll to seal your fate.
Yes. Thankfully, I rolled very high, which is nice. It'll be a 30.
Ooh, there we go.
You are very careful in looking over every step before you step on it. It's very slow going, but you don't find anything.
We're fine with that. You probably Tozak probably felt like if the carpet didn't get them, if the liches didn't get them, and then the carpet probably would.
All
Less
right.
security here.
So where does this staircase lead?
Well, you
Ooh,
make
to a
your
whole
way
place.
up the staircase. And this room is a little different.
Oh, goody.
The 3 circles are candles.
Of hell?
Yeah, they're candelabras.
Candelabras. Candelabras.
I wish my brother George was here.
So go ahead and bring yourselves onto the map up the stairs, so you'll all be like close to the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where I am.
I don't know where you are either.
That's 3 of us. On the steps, you said?
Or by the steps.
Okay. Was that good?
All right. We just need Rosylnn.
She was dog distracted.
Yes. All
Sorry.
right.
Daisy, Daisy, Daisy.
No, that's okay.
So, this massive chamber takes up the entirety of the width and breadth of the tower. 4 candelabras, each in the center of a wall, light up the room enough to see by and cause the massive 20-foot diameter circle to glitter in the light. Or it would be glittering in that light were it not casting greenish-yellow energy shooting up into the air, rising up to the high ceiling, creating a semi-translucent curtain around what appears to be a body lying in the center, unmoving.
Is the body complete?
It is very difficult to see through this curtain.
Okay.
It is semi-translucent, so make a perception check at disadvantage.
I'm also gonna look.
So roll it twice, take the lower, right?
Correct.
And I'm doing perception.
Of course, I got a natural Kraken.
Netty Kraken.
Are we all doing that, or
Well, so far it's just Mel and Gavin.
I got a 13. Hopefully, you see better than me.
Nope. I got an 8.
All right.
Verrozz, does he see anything? I'm not on the thing. I'm off the thing. No touchy.
Yes. For being at disadvantage, that was a good time to roll a 20 and a 19.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't rolled decently all night long except for that. Let's see. So, okay. That's a total of 22.
Nice.
So, he's peering through the curtain but not saying anything.
Who, Verrozz?
Yeah.
You recognize that body?
That body looks to have... Wow, what am I hearing in the background?
Sorry, that was me.
The body looks to have been there for many, many, many years.
Whose body do you think it is?
There is no way to tell, not from here.
We'd actually have to go through the curtain. Who wants to go through the curtain? Anybody?
I don't know that that would be a good idea.
Good,
I
because
do
I
not
didn't want to
recommend
do it anyway.
I'll go through the curtain.
I'm going to pass on that.
I throw something through the curtain.
Rosylnn, if you want to, that's all yours.
What? What do you throw, Mel?
I am going to throw
Coin?
a shovel.
A thief.
I don't know why I have a shovel. I'm going to throw it.
One rogue will be used in this casting.
All right.
Rogue
So you-
pulsing.
Take the shovel and toss it at the curtain, and you see it go through, and you hear it clang on the other side. Mel, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Peaches. $13.
You know, the shovel had a metal handle and a wooden
Yep.
shaft and
Yep.
then a metal scoop.
Yes.
You actually heard the sound of two different pieces of metal hitting the ground,
And
and
no
it
wood.
didn't sound like it could possibly... They would sound like that if they were still attached.
Got it. Separates.
Organic from.
Or-
Well,
yeah.
the metal's organic too.
Oh.
Separates metal from.
Maybe it cuts it in two.
Oh, it could have just cut it in two.
Um,
Oh, bye shovel.
Oh, fare thee well, Shuffle. We'll meet again.
How high did you throw it, Mel? I mean, was it like eye level or
Yeah, but that
There's
thing
the-
goes all the way to the ceiling, though, right?
probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
which goes up 20 feet and then comes to a low point beyond that. So this is a pretty big room.
Yeah,
Interesting.
You see Verrozz casting a spell.
Were there any mirrors downstairs? Do they have mirrors?
You don't recall having seen any mirrors in this
Yeah, this
tower.
place is pretty,
Sparse.
yeah, Spartan.
Sparse and Spartan.
It's a minimalist design.
Verrozz says, do not make contact with the energy.
Right.
It is not solely necrotic, but significantly necrotic.
So was your brother like doing magic in there? Is hence the dead body, or did that person just try to go through the curtain and not make it?
I do not know.
Ah, okay. I think we've reached our end here, folks. I don't know if there's much else here we can. I mean, there's not really anything to see.
And there's nothing else in the room besides this.
Doesn't look like it. Although I suppose I could check the walls for traps or a secret door or something.
Anybody have
Not from
dispel magic?
I think the only one would probably Verrozz, yeah.
I do.
Would it be a good idea to try to dispel the ring?
I do not know. I can certainly make the attempt. And so he steps back a little bit, begins to move his hands through a series of arcane sigils. And once again, you see that sort of ripple of energy spring out from his hands, and it hits the curtain of energy, and you see it almost looks like it sparks when it comes in contact, but as the ripples extend out, the curtain sparks but dissipates.
Ooh.
He rolled a 19,
Ooh.
Go Verrozz.
Well done.
which means that the total roll for him was a 23.
Wow, way to go.
And after about 20 seconds or so, the curtain is no longer there. You can still see the circle on the floor, but now it simply looks to be made of an etching into the floor inlaid with various forms of powdered gemstones and metals. And
Now I look at my shovel. What's my shovel look like? Is it split in two? Is it?
Well, do you go over to it, or do you look at it from where you're at?
I look at it from where I'm at.
Make a perception check.
That's not horrible.
Yeah.
13 plus 3, 16.
It looks like there's maybe a little bit of wood left attached to the metal ends, but it looks dark and discolored.
Did it age it? Can I tell if it like aged it? till
You
it was-
can't tell from here.
Okay, well. I'm going to look at Verrozz and
Are those symbols on the ground?
Yeah.
Yes, that's basically all that we see left now, where
Yes.
those symbols that are on the ground.
Yeah, this is clearly some sort of arcane casting circle.
I don't know if I feel comfortable crossing now.
Mm.
Everyone give me a perception check.
Perception. 17.
22.
Natural 9 this time.
17.
22.
You are kind of looking around and your eyes catch a barely visible movement at the body.
Oh, maybe it was keeping it in.
And
Oh.
you
I
see
did think of that. I asked.
You see, and this is odd because the room is well lit, but you see a familiar looking smear begin to emerge from the body.
I ready myself.
Me too.
Verrozz, talk to it. Ask it if it's your brother.
I don't think it is.
What? Tozak, is that you? Verrozz.
Odin. Oh no.
I thought it would be you.
Melerenn pees her pants.
Melerenn is ready to go. Nikki's peeing her pants.
Ah.
Oh no.
Tozak, what did you do? I miscalculated.
Oh, yeah. Happens.
AKA fucked up.
Miscalculated my ass. Oh my goodness.
Tell me what transpires outside these walls.
Everybody in the town looks like you, as in a smear.
At night.
And they only come out at night.
The freaks come out at night.
Houdini.
Freaks come out at night.
I love that song. Jewel of the Nile. Are you kidding me? Best album ever.
But when I look through your scrying brazier, I see them alive. This is not as I intended.
How do we undo it
Yeah.
and bring them back?
Undo it.
Were I still alive, perhaps I could determine what actually happened. It appears...
How did you die?
It appears that my circle reversed the effect. It fed off my life and propelled everyone else where I intended to go.
Oh my god. You
Aww.
didn't get to go, but you sent the whole town.
That's kind of sad.
Definition of a pisser right there.
But these smears you speak of, are likely temporal remnants that need to be reunited.
Can you tell us how?
I would assume the same way you dispelled the circle. Find them, dispel them. It should snap them back to their corporeal counterparts.
So we have to go into every place and dispel magic? Because isn't that what Verrozz did?
We're not good. That's going to take somebody. That's going to take a lot of scrolls, and this is a town.
Yeah.
Or can we somehow get them all to gather and do one big one?
Or do we want to resurrect this guy?
Can we resurrect? I did.
Well, I know that we know the smears are not dead because somebody tried to detect undead.
How long have you been dead?
What is the date? Verrozz tells him, a fortnight.
Well, that's a long time.
I can't bring him back after that long.
Yeah. Isn't that longer than they've been gone?
At this point, it's probably about the same amount of time.
Is it about okay?
Because
I
remember,
guess, yeah.
Verrozz had no idea how long they had been gone when he
That's-
stumbled upon
that's right.
Daka and found it empty.
That's right. That's right.
Burning.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep. Got it.
Well, okay, so a fortnight is 10 days, right?
Correct.
It says you return a dead creature to life. You touch to life, provided that they have been dead no longer than 10 days.
What spell is that?
Raise dead.
Oh. You can cast that?
I can.
Well, ask Verrozz. Do you want to try to
Bring your brother back.
brother? He might be able to help us
If
get
only,
people back.
if only so he could fix what he has done. Yes.
That's what I would say too, is if he's gonna help us, then let's bring him back and we'll go from there.
You can do it.
Okay. I walk over to Verrozz and I put my hand on his shoulder and I look that way. Like if he's looking this way, I look that way. I says, if something goes wrong, we may have to. And then I pause. And I say,
understand.
Okay.
I sense what you are going to attempt. My time is short in this form, and if it does not work, brother, I have one request of you. I don't know that I want your request, Tozak. It is irrelevant what you desire. This is your responsibility now. If this does not work, you must take up my place here in Daka. Eschew your hermit ways and become the new mage of Daka in my stead.
Oh.
See to the town's restoration. This is my final and only request, brother. And he just
Cast it, cast it, cast it.
fades.
I touch him. And
So
I
you
cast.
enter the circle.
I enter the circle.
Okay.
I touch him, and I cast Raise Dead.
All right. You call upon Torora, and you beseech her to restore life. But as you look down and cast the spell, you realize that this body looks like it's been dead a hell of a lot longer than a fortnight.
Mhm.
This body is mummified.
Fuck.
And you complete the spell and you send this golden radiance through the body and you see it shimmer and then just evaporate and nothing happens.
Son of a hairless goat.
It was worth a shot.
Make a either medicine or survival, your choice. Gesundheit.
Sorry, I'm allergic to spring.
Dead bodies, yes.
I'm definitely allergic to dead bodies. Let me tell you.
They're so musty.
Survival or medicine? Definitely medicine. Ooh. 26.
Now that you have a close-up view of this body, if you had to guess, you've seen one pre-shattering ruin that was discovered.
Uh-huh.
And you were with them when they uncovered 4 bodies. They looked like this. This body looks to be well over 100 years old.
Oh my god.
So he
So
did
then where the hell did he come from?
he went back.
And Verrozz says, I don't think so. I think that is what is left of Tozak. He said his life force powered the spell.
Yeah.
It's out of him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
That's a lot of age.
Wow. Unfortunately, we used our sending spells today, but
I have more.
we may have to send one to Flintbane and say this entire town needs to be dispelled.
Let's see. So I did cast that. I cast that and that. I have one more sending spell. Well, I could cast it at a higher level too, so.
Right.
So yeah, I could cast it again if I need to.
Well, what
Right.
are our options? Try to find a smear and see if you can dispel it. One at a time.
What time of day is it now?
Oh, it's probably 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I'd say that's our best bet. Is we could go back to that
Shop.
shop
But
because
here's
there
the-
was only one there, and
But if you recall,
yes,
Everybody make a history check.
History. Don't know much about a history.
18.
Except for when you roll a
17.
20. 24.
14.
Gavin, you think to yourself for a moment and then say, didn't one of you spot the one in the store by casting Detect Magic?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that was during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was close to nighttime, I thought.
It
Right.
was, it was,
But
it was
it-
close
but-
to dusk.
It was
But
still
where
in the
it was
daytime.
still in the light.
Yes, that's true.
We decided that they were there all the time. We could just only see them in the shadows or at night.
Yes.
So
Or
maybe going.
with Detect Magic.
Oh, wait a second. Isn't that person a magic user? What are they? That store?
Yes,
I rolled to remember.
they were a wizard.
So they would have the spell, right?
Well,
I mean, like it would take like
if you remember what
millennia.
if you remember what the Shade of Tozak just said, that these are temporal shades. They're like out of time imprints
right.
of the people that used to be there. And they need to be dispelled so that they will snap back through time and be reunited with the bodies that cast them.
Right. So if we start with the wizard's hut, we know there's one there.
Well, there was one there. And then you started to fight it and it disappeared. And you remember that at night, these things move sporadically. Because perhaps they're not completely synced.
They're not tied to a time and space.
Right. And so they, to put it in magical parlance, they have this uncontrollable blink where they just vanish and reappear somewhere nearby. So it was in the store. If it is still in the store is anybody's guess. It could
So
be
they're
halfway across
basically
town.
glitching, right?
Hmm?
They're basically glitching.
Yeah. It's like someone cast blink on them. And they're just winking out and winking back in nearby. But at night, they all do this. So it's possible that the shade that was in the mage's store didn't start there.
We could go
Okay.
back into the street and just detect magic. See if
I was
So-
saying we just detect magic until we find one and
And then we
dispel magic
dispel
and
magic.
see what happens.
Do I have to spell magic? Oh, I do.
All
Okay.
right. So as long
So
as
I
somebody
have detect magic and I have
and
to
just
spell
dispel
magic.
magic. All right. Well, lacking anything better for an idea.
Right.
Yes,
So
we.
let's try it.
What's it gonna hurt?
Possibly us, but we'll give it.
Well, that's true.
So do we head back the way we came in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
we start heading back to the entrance of this place.
You
Let's watch out
see,
for that tricky step.
you see Verrozz slowly making his way toward the body of his brother.
Oh, I was going to clap him on the shoulder before he left.
Okay.
He kneels down and reaches out and puts his hand on the head. And there is a visible and audible zap, a spark. And Verrozz jerks his hand back and then
Are you all right?
damn it.
Yes. What you
I
thinking
say
there,
again.
Verrozz?
Are you all right?
I suppose that depends on how you define it.
Did your brother leave you a little something?
Yes. I now know the secrets of this tower.
And what is that?
Well, he's not going to tell you it's a secret.
Well, that's a
Everything.
good point.
I know how to disable the trap on the stairs. I know the contents of the chests. I know how to disable their traps.
Mm.
Is
Ah,
there anything in there that we can use?
yeah, your brother's dead. He won't mind, will he? If we
You obviously don't say that.
You.
Do you say that?
No.
no,
I was
no,
gonna say horrible, Chad. Horrible.
he's not gonna mind, right? I mean, you know.
My
It
original order
seems
stand.
I have no choice now.
You have to take over your brother's business,
Yes.
Charge. His charge.
his charge. Yeah. Sorry. He was your brother, though. I mean, I know you two didn't get along, but family's family, right?
If we can lay these temporal shades to rest and return them, if we can find those willing to come here and bring life back to this haunted place.
Well, I think Rosylnn did have a good question. Is there, I mean, you now know the contents of those chests. Is there anything in there that will help us or not?
Scrolls. Dispel magic.
No, nothing in
Okay.
particular.
Mm.
Oh, well.
But
It's worth a try.
there, at least, come with me. And he turns and just walks down the stairs.
I follow.
We following?
Same.
And he ends up going back down the stairs to the second level. He walks to the trap staircase, walks down the first step, and holds his hands out and pushes two stones simultaneously,
Ooh, that's fancy.
and then proceeds to just walk down the stairs.
That's pretty cool.
He
We
takes you down to the second floor and then into the room with the chests, and he makes
He just stepped on me. Ah!
he makes
Ow!
several passes with his hands, and you hear tunk, 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 as the locks snap open. He goes to the one on the north wall, opens it up, and pulls out 3 vials, closes it, and hands the vials to who was it that gave him the potion after the staircase?
Me.
Okay. Then he hands the 3 vials to you and says, "That should replace what you had used."
Oh.
It's a potion of greater healing, a potion of superior healing, and a potion of supreme healing.
Ooh. We're supremely grateful.
And then he walks over to the middle chest, opens it up, and pulls out a smaller chest, probably about 1.5 feet by a foot by a foot. And he strains picking it up. Who's the strongest?
Probably
I would guess Rosylnn, but mine's an 18.
You're stronger than I am.
Your strength?
Yeah.
And so is Krishana's. Rosylnn and I are 15 twins.
Well, then he walks over to Gavin and hands the chest to you.
Got to remember, I was a military guy. I might be a rogue, but I'm not necessarily a small man. I just am stealthy.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. Very
And he says, "You have done a great service to this, my town. You have taken a great risk. So consider this both request and reward."
I do what is asked of me when I know it is right. So I take whatever he hands me, and
It's heavy. I mean, you don't. It's not a problem for you to carry it, but you know it's got some heft to it.
Substantial.
It's a double-hander.
Yeah. And he says, "The one thing that I do not hurt for is coin. The life of a hermit has very little need. So I am well prepared for an eventuality such as this. But you deserve something for all that you have done. That coffer holds 2,300 platinum pieces.
Oh my.
I would ask that you take 1,200 of that and divide it between the 4 of you. The rest, I would ask that you use to entice people to move here and to set up their lives in this place."
Come to wonderful.
come to beautiful Daka. Daka?
Daka.
Daka. Come to beautiful Daka.
The buildings are all ready for you.
The buildings are all right, except for the northwest side of town, which is a little crispy, but we'll work around it.
Just don't ask what happened to the people who were here before you.
Just don't have it.
Well, wait a second, though. So he's saying that all these people, once they'll be reunited with their shades, they're done for.
They might want to leave town. There's no guarantee they'll want to stay.
No, I mean, like,
The shades will go back in time and reunite with the bodies.
oh my God.
Oh, they're not coming back?
Oh no.
Oh,
They're
it's
not
shattering.
coming
No.
back.
Oh no.
They
Oh,
will
we can't
spend
go
their-
the other direction, huh?
the rest of their existence in pre-shattering.
Well,
Oh,
they
Oh,
have a
that-
year.
Dead.
They have a year to try and rebuild the town, and then the shattering's gonna hit.
in that case, I'm going back up and I am pissing all over that body.
Oh no.
Oh, that Tozak is a
Dead.
He's
well,
a dead
he's
man.
already
Yeah.
he's already a dead man, but it's like, oh, come on. You've screwed this town so much that they can't even come back. Oh. Well, at that point, then, knowing that, if I know that, I would look at Verrozz and go, if that is what you wish, I will make sure it is
Oh.
done.
That's so sad.
It is. It is. I didn't even realize it. Now I'm weepy a bit.
I would see my town live again. I
Yeah.
will not make the same mistake as Tozak.
Well, of course not.
I will do my best that this is a town you can be proud of again.
Now, let us go see if this plan will work.
All right.
What's on the south wall chest? Were we supposed to go into that, or did he not?
He didn't open that one.
Okay.
We're
I
good.
wrote it down, so I will erase it. I was pre-planning
Ah.
in my notes.
Maybe later.
All right.
So let's go back down to street level.
Yeah.
I'm so irritated.
All right.
Because we can't save the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we come up with another way. We have a year to figure it out.
I don't think so. But
What's the building closest to us?
Probably just a home.
Oh, well.
So, you.
We need to cast detect magic.
Yep. All right. So Verrozz will cast detect magic. And he says, "There are two."
Okay.
are they close together?
Close enough.
Okay. I asked dispel magic.
All right. He points to exactly where one of them is.
Hmm.
And Krishana casts dispel magic. And you see him just kind of holding his breath. And then he exhales. It is gone. Hopefully returned, but it is gone.
How many people were in this town?
A lot. It's
A
gonna take
lot.
a while.
Yeah.
You would need scrolls and scrolls and scrolls
And scrolls.
because a wizard wouldn't be
Yeah,
able to.
I think we might want to see if Flintbane knows anybody that can help us here. I don't know if we want to do. I mean,
We wouldn't be. I mean, we would be able to do two
We-
houses at a time.
yeah, we'd have to be able. Yeah, we'd only have to be able to do it at a couple at a time.
Right.
But it needs to be done before we can send anyone else here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I think we message Flintbane and ask him if he knows anyone that.
And he, Verrozz casts dispel magic and informs you that the other one is gone now too.
Mhm.
Okay.
But he says, there were over 7,000 people living here. It is going to be some time before anyone can move back here. This is going to be a life's work. But I would ask, when you return, if you could ask the Council of Glamaruth if they could send others who can do this, who can assist in the reclamation of Daka.
I mean, if you started in the bottom left corner, in the southwest, and moved your way to the other side of town, you'd be able to have the beginnings of a town that could start over.
So you're
Maybe you're
moving systematically through the town?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I use my spell slots before we leave to at least get, I don't know,
As many as you can.
as many as I can.
How many dispel magic spells can you cast?
These are good questions.
I can cast 4 more today.
I think she could do.
Five.
Okay. So we can send 9 more shades home.
Mm-hmm. And we head back after we've rested, right?
Yep.
Tell him to not forget. I tell him to not forget Allie. You're gonna want to go to your house and bring all your stuff here.
And you can teach Allie to spell magic and she can help you.
Yeah. Possibly, yeah.
If she is willing.
Yeah. I mean, you know, now that she knows that they're what they are,
Yep.
I think she'll want to help.
Maybe.
And he does some computations in his head real quick and says basically that if he has to do this alone, it will take 4 years.
Okay.
If he has help, it'll take 2. If he has 4 people doing it,
It would
it'll
take
take
a year.
So the more people that can help, the quicker it can be done.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know, we go back. We report to Flintbane, right? Flintbane.
We say our goodbyes.
Well, of course.
You will be welcome here anytime,
Thank you.
and I hope I will see you again.
You will.
You will.
You will.
Hopefully under happier
Better circumstances, yeah.
Okay, so we travel back.
All right?
We report to Flintbane right away. And we tell our tale of woe.
At this point, well, you come in, you find him in the barracks, and he says, "Ah, you're back. All right. So tell me, is it as bad as you thought it was?"
It's worse, actually.
Yep, worse.
All right. Don't say a word to anybody. I'm gonna go summon the council.
As you wish.
So he takes off. You kind of, unpack and settle in a little bit. He comes back and tells you that the council will convene in the morning, so you have a night to just kind of, I mean, you've been traveling for a week, so you have a night to sort of rest and relax, and then the following morning he takes you to the council chambers, same place that you were before, except this time you're standing where Verrozz was, and Flintbane says, "All right, our Bragnaet agents are back from Daka with a tale of woe. So be prepared. This isn't going to be fun. Tell your story."
So I tell them.
Okay. I would like each of you to make a performance check.
Oy. Ah. 12.
18.
21.
3. I'm worried about getting them the money, so I'm not really doing a good job. Like, I'm trying to give the money.
All right. Well, overall, Mel kind of puts her foot in her mouth a couple times, but the rest of you are sort of able to cover, especially Rosylnn seems pretty good at kind of going, what she meant to say was. But you tell the story. You remember all the salient points. And when you get to the end and Verrozz's request, you see the woman who was speaking in the first meeting, the woman who's the head of the council at the moment, stands up. I will admit I have never heard of such a catastrophe since the shattering. This is a tale of sorrow, and the hermit did not think there was a chance of recalling these lost souls.
Not one he could think of off the top of his head.
Time travel works one way. And should not, honestly, ever work at all. So when it does happen, there is no way to reverse it. And they have been sent a year before the shattering. They have a year to live.
Not everyone died in the shattering. If they are able to determine when they are, they can prepare.
Perhaps, but there is no way to tell them.
But if I am following this, would you call it temporal logic, I suppose? Is this not the founding of the town of Daka?
Possibly. Possibly.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
That would lead me to believe that at least a
Some
good
of
number
them.
of them survive.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
that's how Daka became a town of artists.
Ugh. Boy, that's so sad.
Yeah. Provided they survive the shattering, yeah.
So we have been entrusted with the funds to entice new artists and artisans to repopulate the town.
But before we can do that, we need they need the assistance of many, many
Well,
magic users.
at least
And-
4.
Well, and that's if we want it to take a year. But as
A
many
year's
as
not
can
bad.
be spared to return the shades of the residents of Daka back to their bodies. And there were nearly 7,000 people down, so it will take a great many magic users to return all of those shades to their bodies in a quick matter.
If there were 7 mages, then we could do it in 6 months.
Also, starting systematically and working through the town would ensure that their lives would be in less danger. And obviously they only have a certain amount of time, you know, like to work through it. You know, they can only do it. Never mind.
A certain amount every day.
Yeah. Unless you have people here writing the spells down and sending them, you know, the spells off of a scroll to help cast and save their spell casting for the day.
An elven woman stands, and the speaker says, "The council recognizes the priestess Xanathia." And Xanathia stands for a moment and then says, "It would seem to me that it behooves all those who care about the ones sent back to make as certain as possible that this is accomplished in less than a year's time. If they were sent back to 1 year prior to the shattering,
Oh yeah.
and if our time runs as theirs does, which in my limited knowledge of chronology I believe to be the case, we must reunite these people and these shades before the shattering, or it will never be done."
Oh, good point.
What she said. I like what she said.
Is there a possibility that the sending of these individuals back in time and the return of these shades to them causes the shattering?
Ooh.
I do not know for certain. I would guess no. I do not see how such a localized chronologist occurrence could rend the entirety of the land. But you raise a valid question, and I will investigate. The councilwoman says, "Well, it appears that this is of some urgency. We will send messengers to all of the outlying towns. We will send messages to the dwarves. We will gain whatever assistance we can and send them to Daka. We will send them to Verrozz, and we will see this accomplished in less than a year."
We have this coffer to help.
How so?
In there, you'll find
11.
1,100 platinum pieces. We were asked by Verrozz to use that money to entice people to move to Daka after they're able to rid the town of, well, not rid, but reunite the shadows with the people back in the shattering.
I imagine you can use.
So I'd say give it, 6-8 months or so, and
you would know.
if you could use that money to start enticing folks
you could
to
also
repopulate Daka.
You could also use some of it to entice some of the wizards, maybe to, go quickly and.
We will simply make diplomatic requests first. We have good relations with the surrounding communities, and when we explain the situation to the dwarves, they may too decide to volunteer. I also see the possibility that advertising a stipend to relocate may bring out the less reputable members of society, and I do not think we wish to repopulate Daka with thieves and rogues and other unsavory persons.
No, they have to be artists, and they have to.
Got a problem with rogues?
They have to apply and show their abilities.
Agreed.
To earn the stipend.
But apply to who?
Ooh.
And that is where the Bragnaet will come in. Forge Master, I turn this money over to you for safekeeping. You will see to its disbursement and to the interviewing of those interested in resettling. You see the look on Flintbane's face, that in his head he is screaming, "Son of a bitch!"
Obscenities at all of us.
But
yeah.
He just
It's
kind of
not our
goes,
fault.
As it will be, I will see that it gets done. Good. Then we will make the best of a terrible situation and see what we can do to restore life to our northern neighbor. You have all done well. You are to be commended. And, Forge Master, make the commendation legal.
Commendation?
Aye, happy to. Thank you. This meeting of the Glamaruth Council is hereby ended. Thank you for your attentions, and we will meet again soon. And as they start to file out, Flintbane walks over and goes, "Well, that's gonna frost some of the other Bragnaet's balls."
Sorry.
Oh, you four just got promoted.
Oh, dear.
Commendation. Man.
Yep.
Woohoo.
So, we'll figure that out when we can. And for now, take this back to the barracks and put it someplace safe. Good God.
By the way, everybody, don't forget, add 400 platinum pieces to your
300 platinum.
300 platinum pieces, excuse me. Yep,
I
300.
like 400.
Oh, 300.
Yes, but it's actually 300.
It's actually 300.
Just such a nice round number. 5 would be.
300.
5 is right out. With that, you return to the barracks. You can't help but think and wonder, how will the residents of Daka fare when the shattering strikes? How many of them will survive? And you once again wonder if perhaps there aren't certain aspects of magic that are best left alone.
Oh, for sure. That is the answer.
And that concludes this interlude in Western Aecathan.
Yay, it's fun.
Thank you so much for playing, you guys.
Pam also would like to
Having-
thank Leslie and Chad for stepping in.
Agreed. Agreed.
You are the
pleasure.
bestest,
I enjoyed.
even though you're late.
I didn't know we were playing tonight. Nobody
Oh.
said anything to me.
Oh,
I just assumed since we were sliding to our doom that we would continue. I apologize for not reminding
And I
you.
didn't. I seeing as I didn't hear anything, I thought maybe you guys were back to the regular schedule. So I just sort of went, you know.
Next
and I was like,
week.
oh,
Next
oh.
week.
All right.
Next
Well,
week. We had
hey.
to finish the
So yes.
storyline.
Yes, I
You are
understand. So
officially
I do
off the-
apologize for being late, but it was a good time, and I'm glad we were able to help out.
Well, we really appreciate it. And so next week, if all goes well, we will be back to our regular Aecathan campaign. And
Central, Gavin.
yes. And do remember, tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, Nikki and I will be doing a little more superhero on City of Heroes.
Zap.
And we hope you'll join us for that too. But thanks very much for joining all of us this evening. Remember, stay safe, stay sane. Please continue to wear your mask. It's not, we're not going to be there until like late summer. Okay, so don't get out of the habit of wearing it. It's still needed.
Yes.
Absolutely, as I
And
like
get
to
your
say,
shot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and get the vaccine.
wearing a mask is of love. Don't forget that.
Yep.
Wearing a shot, getting your shot is an act of love too.
Yep. And if you're worried that, Bill Gates is putting microchips in the vaccine and is tracking you, all I have to say is if you have one of these, you're already tracked. Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
So, all right. Have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, and please come back and join us again next Tuesday when we will once again welcome you back to the lands of Central Aecathan. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye bye.